Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone, welcome to another special edition of Broken Not Shattered. This is your host, Ike O. I am actually out and about with my kids. We just finished having a great time. My daughter graduated last Friday, and so we all went out for dinner, lunch. And I thought that we don't have the time to get back home, so the best thing to do basically is to be prepared at all times. As a Boy Scout, I remember very well. They said, "Be prepared at all times." So at all times, the show must go on. You're gonna get a little bit of noise in the feedback and feedback from the background where I am. I'm in a public place, but the show is still going to go on. Here we are in Columbia, Maryland. It's a different ball game. Beautiful day outside, and so everyone is outside enjoying summer. Obi and I are going to make this show interesting because we have a very special guest, and our guest today is has a story. The title of today's caption is "Life After Death." Obi, welcome, buddy. How you doing, my man?
I'm all right. Always good to be back on the show.
Awesome. So we're not going to take up much of our time because I know she has a fantastic story. Let me gradually introduce our guest this afternoon, or this evening, or this morning, depending on where you are in the world. To our guest, our audience in Qatar, those in the Far East, in the UK, it's nighttime. In Nigeria, it's nighttime. Here in the US, it's afternoon. Wherever you are in the world, welcome to this special edition of Broken Not Shattered. Our guest today is a young lady, phenomenal young lady who has done great work. She has a fantastic, strong story that we believe will be very inspirational to most of our audience when they decide to key in and listen. Without wasting much of your time, let me introduce my guest today, Miss Dorothy Malike. And Dorothy is actually Cameroonian. Hi, Dorothy. Welcome to Broken Not Shattered. How you doing, girl?
I'm doing okay. Thank
So
you.
are
Thank you,
you
guys.
Anglophone or Francophone?
Anglophone. I'm
Um, but
Anglophone.
you, but you can you speak French also?
Yes, I can.
So
I try.
say hi to our audience across the world
Uh,
in French.
Bonjour, bonsoir tout le monde. Je suis Malika Dorothy. Je viens du Cameroun et je suis une fille anglophone. Et ça va,
Et
ça va.
ça va, moti la basso, kassi la bassi, la basse. It's a, it's a beautiful day, and that's what she's telling you wherever you are in the world. Sorry, my background is a bit noisy. Um, Dorothy, you have a phenomenal story. You lost both parents at a very young age. Before the age of 17, you were already an orphan. Um, I know it must have been a very challenging time for you. Tell us a little bit about how you were able to overcome the bereavement of both parents. First of all, the first one at a young age, and then as a teenager, you lost your dad in Cameroon, I believe. There's someone out there who I believe your story will inspire. They're either uh, orphans now or just became orphans recently. I know the loss of a parent, what it's like. I lost my dad when I was in college, high school, university. So, what's the story, Dorothy? How were you able to overcome at that young age as an orphan?
So it's a very emotional topic for me because I want to believe that if my family is watching this right now, I think it's going to give them a little bit of closure as to why, at a certain point in my life, I acted differently. So, when I lost my mom, I was about 7, 8 years, and the experience wasn't a good one because I watched it. I, I, I remember vividly. I'd gone for weekend because my mom and my dad were separated at that point. So I had to be with my mom that weekend, and I was excited. And that night, the whole issue started. She just got up screaming. She was burning. I didn't understand. From there, it was us running to the hospital with neighbors coming to assist. And then what I can remember is we went to the village to meet my grandmom. And then my mom just started screaming. And from there, that was it. She lost it. And then I don't want to go into the details because they still cause a lot of chaos to me. But there were experiences that were very bitter, because at the end of the day, I could see her inflicting pain on herself, hurting herself. And if I want to come close, she does this to me. And as a little girl, I didn't understand why she wouldn't want me to come close. And then I remember they took me out of that place and carried me to my uncle's place. So I was there for a couple of months. I couldn't talk to my mom, hoping that I'll come back to my loving mom. And then I lost her. She finally died. And when they took me to the village, the painful part of it was I was going to the village with my dad. My dad was crying, but my dad didn't tell me that your mom had passed. So the story they gave me, my dad gave me, was that we were going to do a memorial for my late grandfather. That's my mom's father. And when I got there, everybody was looking at me with pity. I was the only one who was clueless. But as a kid, I knew something was missing. I remember asking, "Where is my mom?" That said she went to buy the things that would be needed for this memorial. And as I said to you, the last image of my mom was the painful images I saw, and her sending me away. And then that was it. I didn't see my mom. So I locked up. That affected me greatly. I didn't know how to deal with it. I was angry. I felt pain. I don't know about other people, but I just was confused and hurt. And I didn't like people talking about their mom. So it wasn't a good experience for me. I found it difficult to cope. But when I got to my feet again, it was through my father, who had just me, and then he tried to play double role, like my mom and my father. So I felt comfortable again with life. I started coping again without my mom, and I felt like, okay, this is gonna be okay. And I cherished my dad so much, because we practically did everything together, and then tragedy struck again. And this time around, I witnessed his pain as well. So it was just getting into my mind and just destroying it for me. I lost trust. I cannot love without being afraid of losing the person.
Wow.
And when my dad passed, nothing makes sense to me.
Wow.
Nothing
I,
makes
uh, I
sense.
I empathize with you a lot. I can just imagine at that young, tender age of 7, trying to figure out what's going on in your life as a child, and then your only surviving parent, who now becomes a pillar, is being snatched away by death. I mean, the trauma alone is quite a bit. Um, but you must have been completely broken at that young age. But we
Yes, I
thank God
was.
that at the end of the day, you were not shattered. And I pray you find solace in the fact that you have gradually overcome. Before we get to the deeper side of this story, um, have you been able to find um, help? Have you gone through any kind of bereavement counseling, any kind of therapy? Just out of curiosity, because while you were talking, when my audience come on board, I try to be very sensitive to their struggle, and don't just see them as a guest who has a story to tell for rating's sake, but literally we want to find out what your pain really is. Have you found any kind of help?
I know. Growing in Africa, I think my father some sort of prepared me a little. He told me there were things he used to say that didn't make sense while he was alive, that became the pillar that I leaned on. He told me life is not as easy as we hope for it to be, but we need to find strength from within, knowing that we cannot depend on people because they don't have the power to do all that you wish them to do. So you've got to draw strength from within and just know that it's going to hurt, but if you fight a little bit hard, you're going to survive it. So each day I ask myself the question he always asks me: do you want to survive? or do you want to stay down there pinned with your pain? So the little counseling I think I've gotten is from just people. You talk to them and then they tell you, well, it's gonna pass. And God, I think my greatest source has been God, through his word, through the encounter that I get from mentors and preachers, and it has helped to give me that strength that I need. That's the only source of counseling I think
Wow,
I
thank
would
you.
say right
I
now.
mean, the most important thing is that you have found a foundation. You have found your center, and that your center for you, from what you just said, is in Christ, right? There are people out there who don't have a center, and this kind of thing can actually throw them off. Um,
Yeah.
this is something that we don't normally do, but asking you this question on air is how I'm being led. Would you like to go for therapy, bereavement therapy? Because if you say, hold on, before you answer that, if you say yes, then Broken Not Shattered will sponsor you to go for therapy. We have a standby therapist. She's one of the best in the business, as long as I'm concerned. She's based out in the United Kingdom, and we will pay for you to go for that bereavement sessions. Your first
Mm,
session will be free, so she will just get a feel of what you want to do, and then if you feel you need more of it, we will pay for it. We don't normally do this. We're not charity, but I'm being led right now to give you the opportunity as we speak. And if you say
thank
yes to
you.
it, then once we get off air, I will make the arrangements. That's if she's not watching right now, and then from there, um, your sessions will begin. So you can find
Thank
you can be made whole again. There is a cycle of bereavement that you have to go through to overcome. I went through it. I was very angry. Obi went through it. He was extremely angry. Obi's case was even terrible, Seth. It was just, if not for Christ, Obi would have been an armed robber. No, just joking.
I
But yeah,
feel that because,
yeah,
yeah, from time to time,
yeah.
I remember I was talking with a friend, and then the friend meant it's so bad that when you call my father's name, I don't want to hear it, and they don't understand. I can't explain to them, but I just don't want to hear it.
Yeah, we,
I don't hate
we,
him,
mm.
but I don't want the name. I don't want
you,
to
you,
hear it
you,
right now.
you need, there's something you need to embrace, and it doesn't happen naturally. It's That's why we have specialists who will walk you through it. So I want to believe that you have said right now on air that yes, you will take the opportunity to go for therapy. Is that a
Yes,
yes? We'll take
yes,
care of
it
that. We'll
is.
take care of the bill for you. Obi,
Thank you.
the question is
Thank
yours.
you.
Interesting. Wow. You know, I almost got emotional because I could remember how the case was for me when I lost my dad. But that's by the way. So Dorothy, I know it must have been a, a long time or a couple of times since you lost your parents. What has been the journey since you lost both parents? What has been the journey for Dorothy up until now?
The journey, the journey has been sweet, bitter, confusing sometimes, filled with wishes. And I keep asking myself about a magic one that doesn't exist. And I keep asking myself if I've heard stupid stories that I didn't believe and I want to believe them. What if I walk somewhere in Nigeria and I see my dad? I've heard stories. That's how bad it is for me. Um, it has been tough. You have to deal with family not understanding you. You have to deal with friends not understanding you. Finding your feet, it's been difficult. Like, it's been a lonely journey, I must say, for me. At I'm sorry, but
Dorothy, take your time. Audience, we're going to take a short break, and then we'll come back from the break, and then we'll continue with our guest, Dorothy, who has the story to tell. We'll be back in a few minutes. on Broken Not Shattered. Okay, so a few minutes ago, Obi and I were live with our guest, Dorothy Malike, who had this very traumatic experience as a child, losing both parents. Um, she had a session where she literally broke down on air. Our primary focus is to make sure that she is strong and healthy. This show is almost a ministry of some sort, and everything we do it with compassion and based on the leading. So, Dorothy, if you can hear us when you're ready, give us a thumbs up, and then we know we can bring you back into the studio. Until then, Obi and I will continue talking. Just give us a thumbs up when you're ready, and then we'll bring you back in. Okay, Dorothy? Our technicians are backstage, and they will make sure that everything is fine. Obi, this has been a very interesting time for her. The good thing about this whole thing, as we were talking, our therapist talked to Jojo, has already reached
Yeah.
out to us and said that she's going through a series of trauma, and we're going to get her on board right immediately after the show so she can start her session. Um, your take, Obi. Dorothy, oh, Dorothy's ready to come back in. Okay.
Oh,
We're
that's
just
fine.
you that's ready. Okay, so that's good. Okay. Hey, welcome back. Welcome back. Thank you. All right. Let's take this few minutes and talk about how are you feeling, Dorothy? You good? You ready to go on?
Yeah, I'm good.
So as you were off the air, let me share some comments that have come in through while we were talking. Maybe these comments might encourage you. Um, the good news is that our therapist is also watching, and she is willing to take you on ASAP. Right. So there you go. So now you're going to be talking to someone who's in London, not even a local therapist. Like this is the best of the best, as long as I'm
That's the
concerned.
best of best. Yes.
Yes, yes, yes. As long as I'm concerned. Okay, so someone says it is so wrong to lie to a child about death. I pray you find healing. Someone says, what a place to find ourselves. Um, um, you can find strength from within, but you can also do it without, but you can't do it without the pain and the fear,
Yes.
and the fear it's given to you. Um, Another member of the audience says, powerfully said, you have to find strength from within and with God. So that means you're on the right path. Um, Someone says, "Oh no, please don't let her talk about this." So
Yes.
you know, we're gonna change dimension. Someone is encouraging you here, Dorothy. Said, "Take your time, Dorothy. Sometimes it's good to cry out the pain. That is the beginning of the healing process." So we have
Exactly. I agree
all the
with you.
audience. Some of them are speaking from London. One is speaking from here in America. So you are on the right track. Um, Dorothy, we are here to support you. Says someone from Qatar. So it's there you go. So your audience are all over the place. Let's talk about
Interesting.
the we have literally 10 more minutes to go. Let's talk
So I
about
want to,
this.
can I use the same more minutes to ask something I noticed? I think I've had that conversation with her, and I think that was one of the things that, caught my interest. You are the CEO of Unica brand, and you have made so much success in that space. And what caught my attention is that you started building this brand as an orphan, and today is a whole big brand. Can you tell us a little about your project and what you have done with this brand? How did you begin this successful journey?
Yeah, thank you guys. I'm sorry. Sometimes those memories can just overflood you. Um, um, so I had to sit myself down and tell myself that, okay, where do you want to go from here? And how hard are you willing to fight? And what are you willing to take to become the person that you want to be without letting the pain influence you? So I've been able to pack this pain, if I can use that word, put it aside and put all of my energy, all of the pain, the loss, everything on work. Unicar is a skincare brand, both skincare, hair care, and scents. Um, I've just tried to make it my own point of view to not just focus on making money for myself, but really bringing solution to people who have issues with their skin, their hair, or if they really want to smell good. So I've put in all of my energy on that. That have been able to survive, the chaotic system that tried to run my life and my thoughts. Um, so far we are working right now. I'm looking at your time, so I don't want to really speak too much on one topic, but I'm looking at we're working right now on a clean skin campaign. It's called the CSC 500. We are looking at helping people with skin disorder, about 500 of them. So we'll be providing lotions, oils, disinfectants, soaps, all of these things that can help, help their journey with their skin become better. And we're going to be working with some dermatologists who are going to be looking at their skin and then writing medications so that we can reduce the number of people who are going through severe skin disorder that might lead to maybe cancer or what have you. Yeah, practically that's what we're working on right now. In summary.
I think that is an interesting brand. I see. We
Very
would
interesting
want
brand.
to keep us up with that. The project you have right there. I think is an interesting one. Then again, what do you think you can say to your audience before you leave as a way of encouragement?
Before you do that, let's take hold on. Someone just sent a message for you, Dorothy. So tell us a little bit more about your hair products. We Africans need
Oh,
solutions to our hair loss. So go ahead. This is a good place for you to market yourself. Now take your time,
Okay. So
and then tell the audience where they can find your products. Is there are you on social media? Give us your handle. If you is there a number to call if they want to buy? Um, like this young lady has just said from out here in America. Tell us more about your product. So talk about your product.
so
so you have it.
um so like I said, we have three we have the skincare, the hair care, and scents, perfumes. So I want to talk about our skincare brand. So what our brand practically seeks to help people with skin disorder. If you have acne, burnt skin, scaly skin, cirrhosis, pneumonia, and all of these other skin disorders, what we do is we prefer solution for those skin disorders, and we work hand in glove with dermatologists, because again, one of the mistakes I think that we Africans do, is that we are constantly carried by the beauty standards that is being presented to us by the media, and we are trying to change that narrative. The African skin is beautiful. It is beautiful in all aspects. I can say that because I know. We have very healthy skin, beautiful, different shades, very appealing, and it's rich. And when you have the right lotions on your body, you tend to enjoy the softness and the beauty of the African skin. It's beautiful variants of shades. And our brand is organic, strictly organic. And we do not encourage or promote skin bleaching, lightening. We don't run with that brand. We just work with your natural skin color. We try to make it look more beautiful. If it is dry and scaly, we give you lotions and oils that will enrich your skin and make it really soft and skin friendly for any other person that touches your skin. Maybe your spouse, your family, your children, and what have you. For the hair, we help people with alopecia, scanty hair. These are the common things, and that's because they are doing the wrong things and applying the wrong stuffs on their hair. There are people with different hair condition, and we have different solutions that can help them promote their hair gradually. We are not telling you we are a do fast brand. We don't give you 1 week. We take time, look at your situation, and then work with you. It's a journey. A brand says you are Unica, you are the brand. So your individual love story about your skin journey is what makes the brand. So we are not creating a different beauty standard to put on you or enforce on you. No, we say come the way you are. Tell us what you want to see. How do you want to grow old with your skin? And we help you achieve that. So practically, that's what we do. And then for scents, we build scents from scratch. So it's our own scent, and we build it after people's personality. So like if I talk to our host and then I have to build something for him, I would have to know his personality. I'll have to know where he wants to wear the scent to, what he wants to put out there, the impression and the perception he wants people to have. Then we build for him. So we can do exclusive. If you want a particular brand just for you, we can build that. And that's only you. Yeah.
Well, at that rate, we have to you have to design a brand for us called BNS.
Okay.
Only for the strong-hearted.
Customized.
You will have to do a brand for us called BNS. Wow,
That's
Dorothy, you
correct.
have a
That's
phenomenal
correct.
story. I know we didn't
Thank
go
you.
too deep into all that you had to share with us. The little you shared has been very encouraging, very inspiring. Um, Someone says, "How do we deal with loss of how?" You know what? Give us where they can find you, because I know the ladies on the platform are asking me all these questions about hair products and where they
Yes.
can find the hair. In other words, their hair is chopping, eh? So they need, so they need to find some
They
kind of
do a
solution.
lot of protective styling, and that can damage your hair. Your hair needs to breathe. If you enjoy your hair follicle, you destroy it's just like a tube where the hair grows. So if you destroy it or you block it with the wrong kind of product, hair won't grow. So you need to let it breathe. You need to let it breathe, and you need to put the right kind of oil. So if you have a low porosity hair, you need to know what kind of lotions to use, or hair oil, not lotion, sorry, hair oil to use, or hair cream. If you have a high porosity hair, it's different. So you need to find out what is good for your hair. So yeah.
Wow. Okay. So that's very important to know. Oh, sorry. Someone just said to me, "Really, I wasn't calling anybody else."
I'm telling you, a disclaimer.
Okay.
I have that, but I
Okay.
gotta go for
All right.
disclaimers.
Okay. So that's good information. I think information is power. Information is key. Anyone who's listening now or will listen later on, now you have an idea of what the hair is all about. Can you give us information so that you can put it out there now, please? So that we have about a minute to go. Where can they find your products? What platforms are you on so they can go there?
Okay, so our website is going to go live on Monday. I've just been keeping it down. They can get the products from there, and then we are on Instagram. Um,
What's the channel? What's it called? What's the channel?
Unica brand, Unica brand.
Is it called at
Um,
Unica Brand?
yes, at Unica brand. I don't know how to do. What do I
No,
Can
do?
you
don't tell
spell?
me. I'll get them to type it in. Just say it out.
Okay.
Yes, at Unica brand. Just
Okay.
at Unica brand. So the
Okay.
Unica is spelled here. You can see that just at
Yes,
Unica brand.
we can see it. Yep, we can see it. Okay.
Yes, at Unica brand.
Okay, at
They
Unica
can
Brand.
get that.
Okay.
I don't know if I have like a minute to talk about the
Sure.
project that is coming.
Just
Do
1 minute.
I?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, 1 minute. So like if anybody is interested in helping any beneficiary, we would really be glad. We give out these packs free. You're not paying a dime for it. We're taking care of the dermatologists coming in, the lotions, the soaps, everything. We're doing that. So if anybody wants to come in as a sponsor and you want your company out there, because we're going to be reaching um, over 1 million plus people, but the beneficiaries that we want to target is about 500 of them. So if we touch the lives of 500 people times three, that's a lot of number. Those are direct contacts that can go far for any brand. Yeah. And I'm sure they'll be glad to know that somebody helped them.
Thank you so much for this information. We have
Thank
passed on
you.
the information on Broken Nut. Shout out to all our audience. Dorothy, thank you for the work that you're doing in the
Thank you.
community. We hope that you get the right sponsors for the project. One of the things you
Thank
said here
you.
was that the hair product is a journey, and believe it or not, to breathe your hair and get your hair healthy is a journey. But Dorothy, and to all our audience, life too is a journey. Um, Success is a journey.
Yeah.
Healing is a journey. And just like Dorothy said, here on Broken Not Shattered, we just want to remind you that you can get help. Help is what you need to make the journey. Once again, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning into this great show. We pray that you've been ministered and encouraged. Okay, is that it? Is that it, Obi? Go
Yeah.
ahead. You want to
That's
say something,
the
Obi?
no. That's the Unica brand
Okay, they can go. We
on
can't see
Instagram.
it. We can't see it on Instagram yet. So
Yeah.
they'll have to go online. It's on our platform. We put it up there a few minutes ago. Thanks again, Obi. You want to close us out?
It's been a great moment with Dorothy. Thank you for honoring this. Thank you for honoring us at Broken Not Shattered and taking out your time to share with us. I believe we are really blessed by this. Thank you
Thank you
so much.
guys
I will
so
hope
much.
I will look forward to seeing you and having more time with you.
Thank you
So
so much, Mr. Ike. Thank you,
Thank you.
Broken Not Shattered. I
thank
really appreciate it. It was really a nice time to finally talk about some certain things that I was running away from, and that meant a lot to me. And I
And
want
I,
to thank everybody who contributed um, with encouraging words. I really appreciate it. It meant a lot to have people really care. That's really
thank you.
nice. Thank you.
And
I
I like the
appreciate
way you
that a
said.
lot.
I like the way you said you've been running away from it. But Dorothy, you don't have to run anymore. For so long, you've suppressed it. Let me tell you this: you've suppressed it. You can't suppress it anymore. If the problem about this, it will come to the surface. If it doesn't come now, it will come later. You want it to come to the surface now, so you can begin
you.
the healing process. When I lost my dad, members of my family would never know this except for one or two people close to me. I suppressed it for so long, 10 whole years. 10 years. I woke up one morning, married with kids, and I started crying uncontrollably. I cried and cried and cried, and nobody could stop me. And then when they asked me, "What is wrong with you, Ike?" all I could say was, "I miss my daddy. I miss my daddy." What I didn't do 10 years ago, the cycle of life took it through, and I started crying and going through my bereavement after 10 years. It was dangerous. I don't want you to go that. You don't have to repress it any further. Okay? It will interfere
Thank
with your
you.
work. It will interfere with your purpose if you don't address it. So we're gonna find you the help that you need. And I'm glad that
Thank
she's
you.
already saying that. How can people support you? Someone just asked, how do we support you? You talked about the support. How much is it to support? Money wise. What is the
Yeah.
cost of supporting that project? You talked about those, yeah. Quickly, please. We're running out of time.
I think I don't.
A thousand
A
naira,
pack,
two thousand naira.
a pack
What
is
is it?
like one pack for a beneficiary is 6,000 naira. So whatever they can do, yes, one
Okay,
pack
so two people
is
can come
about,
together and do three
yes,
3,000 each for one person. One
definitely,
person can
that's right.
do, or somebody can take 10 packs at 60 naira, 60,000 naira, and do. Okay,
Yes,
we at
that's
Broken
right.
Not Shattered will do our own part. Obi and I will get together and they'll agree to sow into your ministry and encourage you.
Thank you.
Thanks again.
Thank you.
The famous three words
Thank
before we
you.
leave, Dorothy. Guys, it's Obi. You go ahead.
Sorry,
Wrap it up. 3 words.
peace, love, and more grace.
Thank you. And we hope to see you guys sometime next week on another special edition of Broken Not Shattered. Until then, have a blessed week wherever you are. And may God continue to bless you for supporting us on Broken Not Shattered. I'm out of here. Love you. Mwah.